Super Saturday is a monthly competition, has some prizes up for grabs if you make the best submission. Got categories for music, art, and game. The server event, well, it's never the same. But how does it work? Well, let me teach. You got 2 rows of 3 words, pick one from each. 9 possibilities, creative capabilities. Super Saturday is a monthly competition. Please help us get more than 1 to 2 submissions. G'day Cube crew, welcome to this month's Super Saturday video. Now the schedule is a little whacked up, so we actually haven't got any submissions yet because it hasn't even closed yet. It probably will be closed by the time you watch this video, but at the time of recording there's still a couple of days left, so I thought this month we'd do something a little bit special, a little bit different, and we'll be going through the entire catalog of every single Super Saturday that we've done for the past 2 years and ranking them in a little bit of a tier list. And I guess together we'll see where we made a bit of blunders. So without further ado, let's jump into things. Okay, so you can see here we have our different tiers. We start off with S tier, which is of course super, moving into awesome, bodacious, cool, and daggy. I could not identify if daggy was a bad word or not, but it is D tier. Daggy, we do not want daggy, alright? Alright. Now, if you still don't know how Super Saturday works, even after that banging song, I mean, let's be real. The basic premise is you got 2 rows of 3 words. You got 2 rows of 3 words for each month, and you can mix and match them to pick 1 word from each row, and that gives you about 9 possibilities. 9 possibilities per one. So each of these grids has 9 possibilities, and we'll be ranking them on how good they are to be used as prompts for music, art, and games. Alright, we'll start ourselves off with Super Saturday Fast, Slimy, Pure, Mushroom, Noise, Sloth. Now, fan favorite word, slimy. I've tried to sneak the word gelatinous in before. Slimy finally made it in. Fast, I don't know about fast. Pure, I think okay. Guys, pure I think is pretty interesting because there's a lot of different ways that you can interpret pure. It can be like pure or, pure like holy, divine, pure of heart, pure. Slimy I think just is interesting when paired with things that aren't normally slimy. I think it leads to an interesting combination. Fast is probably dragging this one down for the first row, but of course we have to view it in context if we look at the next row. Mushroom, Noise, Sloth. Now mushroom is fairly straightforward, a regular, just a straightforward noun. It's a bloody veggie. Slimy mushroom could be interesting, pretty straightforward. Pure mushroom. Now, daggy tier. Next up, we have an old school one with the old school. You can tell which ones are old because they're like bloody burst out with the color without any of the drop shadows. I think these are the ones that I was responsible for making before our resident artist at Soulcube actually got on the job and made it not look crap like the job that I did. We have This is the first ever debut Super Saturday grid. We have Dreamy, Bubbly, Dead, Plant, Castle, Pirate. Guys, I'm not just saying this because it's the first one we did, but I think this has to go. Oh, it has to go up there in awesome tier. Maybe super tier. Actually, you know what? No, we're staying in A. Maybe it'll move up later. Dreamy Plant, sick. Dreamy Castle, sick. Dreamy Pirate, sick. You've got the whole it could be sort of phantasmal, or it could just be a really handsome pirate or something like that. Bubbly Plant, that's interesting. Bubbly Castle, Bubbly Pirate. I really like bubbly as an adjective. Dead, pretty classic, sort of just flips everything on its head. Dead Pirate plays into a lot of tropes around pirates. I think all of these are S tier for art. For music, I think Dreamy and Bubbly sort of help for music. Dead doesn't really help too much, unless you were doing like a sort of spooky graveyardy sort of thing, one which I suppose, you know, could work. Then for games, I feel like Dead and maybe Bubbly, but mainly Dead is where you want to be going for games, like a Dead Plant, Dead Castle, Dead Pirate. Some mechanic around dying, I think, is where you could take that one for games. Which, keep in mind, these ones here with the old art were not designed for games, so you know, that's something. That's something. Stands the test of time, if you would. Alright, moving on. Next one. New Light, Clouded, Hope, Destination, Year. So, I can tell by this grid, this is the first grid of, I believe it is 2021, which is why it is this New Year theme. You can see we were fairly optimistic going forward. New Light, Clouded, Hope, Destination. But now, where to place it? Where to place it, guys? Where to place it? New Light, Clouded, Hope, Destination, Year. Clouded. Alright. We're going to bring in C tier, in cool tier. I'll tell you why. I like clouded as an adjective. Clouded hope, clouded destination, clouded year. I think those are really interesting prompts that you could use for everything, really. With games, I would do something where it's like the objective sort of appears closer than it is. And then, you know, music sort of lets you do that sort of, I don't know, that weird ambient sort of hazy tone color going with it, and art, you know, guys really self-explanatory, right? But then stuff like, I don't know, New Destination, I feel like is as good, but it's nothing like, it doesn't jump out. Same with like New Hope or New Year, Light Hope, Light Destination. It feels a little bit generic for a lot of it. You can do cool stuff, but it doesn't really warrant doing any cool stuff, you know what I mean? So that's why it's C tier. It's just cool to see, you know, but it ain't bodacious, I'll tell you that much. Now, this is one that we actually made a game entry for with the prompt Skeletal Party. We made Borrowed Bones, our little, it was sort of like a real-time card game thing where you played as the fantasy skeletons. Like swapping, sort of like a swap. So instead of you playing as the party of adventurers, you summon a party of monsters throughout the dungeon. And we had a lot of fun making that. But at the same time, when trying to come up with games for some of the other prompts, it was a little bit difficult. Like a lot of it is pretty mad for art and stuff, like Soaked Jacket, or Soaked Party. I think we're looking at C tier, but it's better than the other one. Now this one, I'll tell you what, is a banger. And I remember we had some banger art entries for this, and I remember we had a volcanic oasis and a volcanic beverage that were both pretty banging. Musical, not as, I suppose, interesting when paired with the other things. Musical beverage, musical sun, musical oasis. I suppose you could do some cool stuff with musical oasis, have like in the desert, just a massive band doing a concert or something. I think that could be cool. I say once again C tier, but I am now recalling the moment at which I said this one was a banger. Maybe it's... No, it is C. It's C. I will not second guess myself, guys. I will not second guess myself. Sketchy, once again, kind of similar to Shifty if I have to criticize our word choices here. But funky and deserted are pretty interesting, except I think the thing that drags this down are the nouns. Bag, forest, boat. What? Of all three, I think deserted works really well with those two. Deserted bag, deserted forest, deserted boat. You can make some really interesting artworks with that. And I think premises for games. I think of like survival-esque type games when I think deserted bag or deserted forest or deserted boat. I think that could be really interesting. And they each let you sort of do it in a different setting and introducing new mechanics and stuff. I think that could work. For music, I guess you got to go with funky, because otherwise I don't know what else you can bounce off. So music is sort of screwed by this. The deserted ones are really good for art and games, but everything else is a bit dodgy, so I think we're going to have to drop this one cool as well. Guys, I swear there will be some in other tiers. Okay, we are back. I've just done a bunch now. Guys, look, I've filled up the grid. It's filled up, guys. Look. I told you they weren't all just B and C. This next one, I've kind of stopped us here. July Super Saturday. I assume this is July 2020. Once again, these would be fantastic for art and games, except for music. Guys, I don't really know what to do, so I think we're going to have to drop this one in B tier. Deep Night? What's a Deep Night? Could be like a deep sea creature in like a night armor. How sick would that be? Luminous mythological. I like this one. Super Saturday, juicy, faulty, unknown, service species, headwear. I like this one. I like this one. Okay, now we have a bit of a home stretch with these old ones. Hold up, I'll finish off with the new ones. Industrial. Oh, this is the one that we did with the down drain. This was the down drain themed one. It's pretty good. I think it's pretty interesting for music. When I think industrial in like music, I think like Rain World and their whole industrial section of the OST. I think is awesome inspiration. I kind of like this one. I think, you know, we're going at the top of B tier. So bodacious. Now, I wasn't sure if this would be better or worse if Frog was replaced with Amphibian, but I still like it nonetheless. Mechanical and old, and I suppose evil, I think is the worst of the three. But they're all really interesting adjectives. And then paired with Planet and Battle, I think, gives so much like exploration that you can do. Frog is a little more straightforward if you just want to draw like a silly character. That's what kind of where Frog is in there. You can draw the evil frog or the old frog or the mechanical frog. But if you want to do like bigger scale, more interesting, not more interesting, but more ambitious pieces, you can tackle a planet or a battle, which I think makes this one S tier. Once again, just like Frog was the stupid character design for the last one, we've got Platypus as the stupid one for the character design here. Alien, I think, is also a really good adjective. You pair anything with alien, it's sort of just like taking something you know and then trying to imagine it in a non-earthly setting, which I think is awesome. Except paired with like tribe and cutlery and platypus, I don't really think there's much room for exploration there. C tier. C tier. Oh, here's this one. This one is the most famous Super Saturday grid, as it is the one that's featured on the little graphic that explains it, the little infographic. Edgy, enraged, torn, poster whale, friend. You can be a friend torn from someone, or a friend torn, physically torn, or torn between friends, or all this sort of stuff that you can sort of communicate in artworks and music. But interpreting that as game mechanics is a little less straightforward. Keep in mind, this one was made when game wasn't a category, so with that context in mind, I think we may be placing it up here in bodacious. And now we come to the finale. The final prompt. Fake light digital stream dream snake cabin. I don't know if this was made with the knowledge of Dream speedrun, but the fact that fake dream is one of the default selections there seems a bit too much of a coincidence to have not been put there intentionally. Light, do we have light again? I feel like, we've doubled up on light, and I know we have serpent somewhere, but a serpent's different to a snake. I'm gonna put it out there, it's kind of poor. We're going into C tier, like somewhere down here for C tier, I reckon. Oh my god, guys, we have done it. We have finally finished this epic, super awesome, bodacious, cool, dank tier list. Thank you all for sticking to the end of the video. Next month, we should have a normal Super Saturday video because it will be out after we have received all the submissions, and that will sort of probably consist of us going through the entries, playing some of the games, listening to some of the music. Maybe we'll do like a, review thing. Might do our reviews there. Usually we like type them up and leave them with all the feedback, but maybe we'll do it live. and just showcase everyone's entries off on the stream. So if that sounds like something that you want to be a part of, make sure that you make something for the next Super Saturday. It goes from the first Saturday to the last Saturday of the month. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to all our patrons for making this possible. Thanks to you, the viewer, for sticking around this long. It is you who truly